Yay! Greetings, you magnificent viewers and listeners out there. Before going forward with our usual introductions, please remember that this series comes with a parental guidance warning. If you are sensitive to such topics as violence, sexual situations, cursing, and other intense moments of mental trauma, please approach this series with caution. And children, I'm sorry, guys, you gotta get out. And with that parental guidance warning, you know what this means. It is time for our favorite TTRPG ongoing campaign, the Mystery Meat Pit Cypher System Edition. One day I will be able to say that name correctly without getting tongue-tied, but today is not that day. And last session, things got pretty deep. We're not going to do a massive recap. It was with just Moonlight. Moonlight got into some extreme situations, but thankfully she was able to get through them. And granted, the entire park is just going through hell right now. All the monitors are down, and it is just insanity. And the engineering department, God bless their souls. Granted, here's the thing, every other department's trying to fight back against the marauders because, they have a sense of loyalty to each other and they've grown to really love this park and how much work they've put into making this the best goddamn theme park known to man. But engineering is different. This isn't any kind of sense of loyalty to anybody that they're coming out with these big ass fucking wrenches and other types of extreme heavy machinery. No. They're coming out because their babies, their machines, their equipment, their babies are being destroyed right in front of them, and you don't fuck with engineering's children. And, well, all this is going down, and Mori, in your walkie, you're just hearing pure chaos. We don't even need to go over the cliche of people screaming and everything. It's just pure devastation and mayhem. And dear goodness, I cannot remember what we ended up deciding our little cephalopod partner of yours is named, but he comes back in with an intense panic, just and before you can say anything in response to his just panic, just power goes out. Somewhere off in the distance, you just even with everything going on, you could just hear that one sardonic asshole just going, "Oh, fucking course the power goes out, as if anything else could go. Oh God, I've been stabbed." And granted, for you, Mori, as the lights go down, the sides of your head, just the veins just, and for you, everything brightens in the room. It's as if you are wearing night vision goggles, but you're not. It's just your eyes. You're able to see because as time went on over your 5 years, you've slowly been mutating because of your proximity and how long of your stay in the PBSO, so your eyes have adapted to the darkness. And for you, Mori, right now, everyone else is, of course, in some extreme situations, but for you, it's extremely devastatingly horrifying right now because all the lights are off, but all you can hear is it's not chittering of bug legs or anything like that. It's very soft, rhythmic tapping of just someone's tip of their toes lightly touching the ground. But it's so off-kiltered, you can't tell how many it is, how far away they are. You're at your door, and I ask you, what would you like to do?
That is a good question. Not entirely sure. So I'm gonna wait and see what happens for a moment.
As you're sitting there by your doorway, trusting your instincts in this moment was the right thing to do, actually. To make a little reference to Telltale, sometimes not doing something is the right choice because as you sat there, well, I'm not even going to say you had your back against the door. You just standing in front of the door, all of a sudden you just see your door just violently shake and you just hear a really heavy breathing. A very heavy, excited breathing, then a sigh of disappointment, and then Now you can hear a single pair of heavy footsteps walking down the hall, and then they're gone. Your cephalopod partner is he's gone from his normal color, and he's just turned, you know what? He's turned green he's in so much fear, but at the same time, he feels very sick, and he just let loose it's just a pile of squid ink. He just throws up squid ink. He's just now is just like a off-kiltered white-green.
Right. More things to clean up.
Mori, if you could be so kind for me, would you do me a favor and roll a d20? I'm going to see if you could beat a 9 real quick.
I rolled a 9.
Excellent. Meet beats. So, you're standing there and you hear your radio give a crackle. Mori, are you there? Repeat. Mori, are you there? You can tell from the voice coming in on the radio, this is one of the alpha squads in engineering. In this squad specifically, they are considered part of the electrical department.
That's never good. I'll answer my radio.
Mori, this is Carl in electrical. This is Carl in electrical. We are having a massive issue in the main park generators. Is there any way you can make it to us?
How far away are the generators I need to fix from where I am?
Oh, you already beat me to it. I was actually going to say, allow me to help you out, to tell you about where, how far and everything. So you're already asking. So Mori, right now, as usual, as I've always said, you're in the Fondue Village. This is actually by the terraced hot pools, which is by the northeastern musculature of the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. And where you are getting this call from, this is actually going to be all the way back in the lower visitor center from where you are. Thankfully, engineering has access to a very special vein line for the bullet cell express. Thankfully, these do not run on the power. This is, of course, using the bloodstream of the PBSO, so you don't have to worry about it being down. From where you are, it will take about 10 minutes. But I am suspecting you're probably thinking, what's the but?
Yep.
That's my players. They are smart. There is a but. Where you have to go, unfortunately, you do have to leave your office and head towards the main engineering room where the fight and everything was going on. Granted, we have established there's that dumbwaiter, so I will give you 2 options. If you would like to attempt to use that dumbwaiter system where you have the money come up and everything, it will just be a might roll to try to make sure you're able to utilize it without it being too loud. But if you are worried about that, I will offer you the chance to just take the hallways, but that's going to incorporate sneaking, and we'll have to do a couple speed rolls. The choice is yours.
Sneaking is my specialty. If I remember correctly, I have several sneaking skills.
Exactly, and I 100% apologize to all my players, but those skills you have, whenever you see like a point for it, you will use that point, and depending on how much of an extra whatever that skill says, I will decrease the difficulty down. So let's say I came at you with a difficulty 4 one, and you used like 3 skills, and you decrease that down to a 0, I'm not going to make you roll, because a difficulty 0 has no roll. 0 times 3 is 0. I mean, yeah, 0 times 3 is 0. So, what would you like to do?
I'm having issues reading the character sheet.
You know what? Allow me to... I do believe I have a copy saved, so I'll pull it up.
Yeah, if you could. Yeah, I strained my eyes earlier, so I'm actually having trouble reading.
Alright, so let me check. So, allow me to go into our folder where I keep everyone's sheets. Copies of the sheets. So... there we go, Mori Dinglehopper. Excellent. Oh, okay. I already see right now you have the special ability Fleet of Foot. Because you have that ability, I'm going to automatically knock down 2 points of difficulty for any roll. So, alright. Now, this is going to be for your first task. I would like you to roll. Now, Originally, this was going to be a difficulty 3, but because of your fleet of foot, this is going to be a difficulty 1. So that means you need to roll a 3.
Before I sneak off into the halls and do all my sneaky Batman shit, I want to stuff, I believe I named him Bob, the cephalopod.
Yes, there we go. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah. I couldn't remember either, and I think it was Bob. I'd have to go back in recordings and find out for sure. But we'll go with Bob for now. I'm going to have him go into the dumbwaiter and hide.
He gives you a very wobbly salute. His tentacle slaps his forehead, and he jumps in the dumbwaiter, and he actually slowly closes it. What would you like to do next? I will allow you to do 2 other things if you would like before you take off.
I'm definitely going to grab my tools.
I was going to let that be a freebie.
Okay, because that was one of the things, like this is my, like, zone where I'm just, like, sitting and monitoring. So, I gotta grab my tools. I'm gonna check around the door, make sure there's nothing, like, right outside still waiting for me.
You actually see the coast is clear. You check the left of the hallway. There's no noise. You check the right. You hear that exasperated sighing far around the corner. Thankfully, though, if this was anybody else, I would have them get confused and not remember the direction. You're engineering, though. You know that hallway leads to a dead end, and taking the left is the right way, and thankfully the coast is clear and you're not hearing any sound. Is there anything else you would like to do before you take off?
I want to rig up a trap towards the right.
With your fleet of foot. Oh.
I was going to say, just something to cripple or hinder. Because I as a player, I know what to do, but my character just knows fire works.
So, this is what I would like you to do. Normally, this would have been a difficulty 4 roll, but because of your fleet of foot, this is now going to be a difficulty 2 might roll. You're going to have to beat a 6 to successfully rig this trap without it making too much noise, but also not inadvertently having anything set off. So go ahead and give me that roll.
All right, I rolled a 9.
Please go ahead and describe this trap for us. How does it look and how does it work?
It's just your standard trip line. Lay it across the hallway. Low to the ground, but not too low. Because if it's too low, it won't set off. But if it's too high, you'll notice it. I mean, it's a wire across a hallway, but it's hooked up to a box with an incendiary grenade.
Here's the thing. I was listening to how you said this very carefully, because as most of my players know, Mori, your wording and how you say something can be I use it against players all the time. But you have successfully navigated around this. You've said the right things for this trap. So, this trap is perfect for this situation. And you creep around the corner, and as you're standing there, because of how you set this trap, you hear a scraping on the ground, but then a click, and then a whoosh of flame. And I'm going to ask you one specific question, Mori. Now, is this more of a traditional flamethrower, or would this be more of the Vietnam napalm style flames that come out?
Oh, this is, I guess, napalm and phosphorus type situation. Because as an engineer, I like making things.
That you're saying you know what? You are navigating this perfectly. So, thankfully, you got around the corner, but this bright flash, and then the flames, and then bits of it fall all over this body. All you hear is a screaming, a frantic stomp, 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 and then you see a massive hand. This hand, just this one hand, was about the size of your abdomen. Literally your top torso, Mori. But it twitches and then just falls. It's dead. Now, what would you like to do next as you proceed down the hallway towards the exit that will lead you towards where you need to go?
Well, before I head along further, I'm going to look at the remains, and this is why you don't fuck with my equipment. And then I'm going to go down the hallway.
Wait, Mori, hold on, you're actually selling yourself a little something, because you are looking at this corpse, but you do notice something. There is a best way to describe this weapon. What you heard scraping. Now, maybe you thought, I can't say what Mori thought. I don't know what type of weapon. Anybody else probably would have thought this entity was dragging a big hammer. Because what you see this entity is, it's a large torso. The head is ducking from the ceiling. Well, what you think is a head. It just looks like a mouth and eyes. But then in the center of the torso is a abdomen about your size that comes out of it with normal sized arms. But there's that one massive arm from the front, and then you see these two little bitty legs that look like it was barely able to hold the weight up if it wasn't for this gargantuan arm. But in the small hands, you see a hoop. I don't know if you ever played Soul Calibur, but there was a character who used a hoop for her weapon.
A glaive?
No. So allow me to show you, Mori. I'm going to show you in the chat. And dear listeners, we are actually going to be presenting going forward actual pictures of when we say this. Because I think you're going to get a kick out of this.
No, it's not called a glaive, but I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember what it's called.
Ring blade. There we go. So this is the specific one that you see.
It looks like a fish.
Actually, it's really cool that you say that because it does have kind of like a barracuda-like head, and the mouth is actually gripping on the end of it. I ask you, would you like to reach out for it, or are you just going to leave it alone?
You know, very curious, and this is something kind of new. I'm going to try and grab it.
So the mouth lets go of the neck. So I will say you don't feel any maliciousness like it's coming out to strike. It starts slithering up your arm like if you've ever had like a pet snake or see how other people handle it. It's doing like that up your arm, and then it droops around your neck, and it just does like about maybe 2 loops, and it's just sitting there resting. But if you hold your arm out to like, and you make the motion to like you're holding like any type of blade weapon, like a sword or anything, it slithers from around your neck into your hand into the hoop. But then when you relax yourself, it slithers back up your arm and rests around your neck. Do you want to keep this?
Does it have any sort of sentience or anything, or is it just...
Yes, it has sentience. It's actually purring like a kitten right now.
Well, looks like I got myself a new pet. I can add it to my collection.
What would you like to name him? Actually, I'm sorry. This is a girl, actually. I'm sorry.
Alright, well, I don't know yet. So until I understand this thing better, it shall go nameless.
So, out of character real quick, Mori. So, you know how like when you get a kitten, they can actually imprint on you? When you raise them from kittenhood, they can become very, very attached?
Yeah.
Right now, you get the sense that that's what this thing is. It's basically like a kitten. And you're feeling that it was basically being subjected to terror, but the way you reached out for it and the fact that you let it go onto your neck, it's feeling relaxed, like it trusts you.
Mm.
You feel a very relaxed, gentle purring, and it gives you like its head raises up and it gives you like a little kitten cat nuzzle kiss on your cheek.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Now you may go forward. I do apologize, but I didn't want you to rush past that and miss this.
I appreciate that.
Now, what would you like? Now, would you like to proceed forward down the hallway?
Yeah, me and my new fish necklace are gonna be wandering down the hallway, sneakily Batmaning my ass along.
So go ahead and, because of your fleet of foot, give me a difficulty 1 speed roll. You just gotta beat a 3.
That's a 9 again.
You squat down and your little, as you so eloquently put it, we're gonna say the barracuda necklace. She actually quiets down. She holds her breath. And as you squat down, you hear something in the vents as if it's slithering, but you get a good sense that altogether it was about a good 24 feet long. It's gone. You continue on. You open the door. Chaos. You just see fires going all over the place, burning, people running for cover. I'm not describing all the violence and gore and stuff. We know what's happening. It doesn't need to be said. So, but the big thing you do notice, Mori, because I've been making sure to pay attention to you, and I think this is the one thing that would really shock you and maybe stop you in your tracks. You see one of your precious machines, and you see 2 of the marauders just laughing as they're just using it as a practice dummy, whacking their weapons against it. Here's the choice. You can continue on past them, or would you like to do?
Nah, I ain't walking past this. You don't fuck with my equipment. I have to fix that shit.
she responds to your anger, and she goes into your palm, and she takes her ring blade form. You feel something in your head telling you how to use this weapon, Mori. To get a better sense to see past the fog, give me a difficulty. Actually, I'm not going to make it that hard because of how you responded to grabbing this. This is only going to be a difficulty 2. You just got to be a 6 intellect roll.
Intellect is never my strong suit normally. This is the one character I'm actually decent at it. Okay, 17.
Okay, so as I've said before, in the Cypher system, criticals actually start at 17. So you technically just crit. So what I'm going to allow, this is, Mori, you see in your head everything. You're connected to the PBSO. You actually feel its limbs. You have an understanding of how this entity's body is. As I've so eloquently said before, that this is a starfish, but the best way to describe it is it kind of seems more like the evolved Staryu in Pokemon, the purple one, because this doesn't just have like 5 limbs, 5 points. This has, you lose count at about 30 different points that are curling in. You see its gargantuan mouth, and then you're connected to what you would consider your sibling. You actually see the inside of, you don't know this is Moonlight's pocket, but you see the blade from its point of view inside Moonlight's pocket. You see on straight against the back the point of view from from certain generals. You see one that's being held in the hand, crouched in front of the war chief as it's looking out across the battlefield. And then you see that with this ring blade, you can use it as a actual sword. Yes, of course, swinging and swiping. But because of its sentience, not only can you throw it and utilize it like a boomerang, but because of your link together, you can basically throw her in a direction, but with your mind, direct her to how to spin around and fly in trajectory back into your hand. Depending on how high of a might roll you get, is how much you can loop around. Because of your 17, I'm going to let this be a freebie if you throw the ring. I'll let you describe how you basically cut through these 2 swords. But if you would like to use it as a sword, I'll let you be able to take one of them instantly out. It's up to you, Mori. What would you like to do?
I'm more hands-on, so I'm going the sword method.
You know what? You are not disappointing me. How does this look for the first one?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward, because I'm not fucking around. They destroyed my equipment, and they're having a time of their lives with it? Nuh-uh. Just straight to the point. I fucking cut that sucker in half so fast. They don't even know what fucking hit them.
Ooh, so this is basically one of those ones where you like run by so quickly he doesn't realize he's cut until like you move your Barracuda ring blade, the line gleams on it, and then he just slowly slits in half.
Yes.
Now, I actually would like to explain to you why this kills it without severing all 3 of its hearts, if you would like to know.
Absolutely.
It is because these blades are made from the PBSO. And just like this, literally the inside of the PBSO literally follows the rules of Darwinism, are just to the extreme of strongest rules, might makes right. Essentially, these beings have been evolved from the PBSO, but because these weapons have a much more strong link to the PBSO, they literally come from it, they can literally disable the PBSO mutation properties in the Marauders. Essentially making it where it's like, your 3 hearts mean nothing. It's, of course you have 3 hearts, but when you're cut, you're not going to be able to regenerate like how they normally would. They're not going to be able to control their body like how they normally would.
So it overloads their nervous system sort of thing.
Bam, you got it. Yes.
Okay.
And it's specifically the PBSO system. That's how we'll label it.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why this is able to do it. That's why Moonlight, when she used the blade on the harem mother, that's why it killed her. So that's why these weapons work. Now, give me now a difficulty 3 might roll. You have to beat a 9. Now, if you would like to use a little effort, it will cost 3 points and you can lower it down to a 2 to make where you have to beat a 6. What would you like?
I rolled a 15, so I don't think I need help.
Never mind, you don't need the effort. How does this look?
What am I describing?
Oh, how do you take it out? Because you're using the right weapon. There's, like I said, this is an instant kill for these guys because you're ignoring their armor and their anomalous property. And these guys only had 5 health, and this does 6 damage.
Okay, so this is for the second guy?
Yes.
Oh, I'm just gonna stab the fuck out of him because I am pissed.
Oh, you're really gonna love this then. So, because this is a living entity and it responds to your feelings, it actually unwinds from its ring shape and it wraps around your arm to be more like kind of like a rapier, and you go to town stabbing him.
Excellent.
And he just grips onto the blade, holds onto your shoulders, his arms flop, and he falls down dead. Your blade slithers out, rolls up your arm, drapes around your neck. Now, the equipment they were damaging, Mori, you get a very devilish smile on your face. Because this equipment, this very, very special equipment, is why the PIB cannot get in right now. It is essentially the sonic shields. Because of them like fucking around and using it as a target dummy, they've basically reversed the polarity to where instead of now repelling forces and entities of like them, it's now repelling the PIB. If anybody else would have found this, there was no way in hell they could fix this. But for you, Mori, it's just a difficulty 2 roll.
Watch this be the one roll I fuck up. Oh, that's a 17. Damn.
You crit again. You perfectly do this, and I'm actually going to say you actually attach, because you get an even more big smile on your face. You actually make this now to where normally this would go on the top of like a light. Would go on the top of like a light pole. This would be on a very long beam, but the assholes cut it down to be smaller, and you were able to take the main components from the inside of it. And the best way to describe this now is this kind of looks like a ghost trap from Ghostbusters. It looks like one of those portable ghost trap boxes, except it has a dial on the front, and you're now able to control the intensity. And for the marauders, it looks like you're surrounded by a ball of just swirling strips of matter, but in reality what it is this sonic shielding. So, and what this does now is it doesn't just block out enemies. The reason why you guys don't get invaded by malevolent entities is because this invention you created, Mori, makes the park invisible. The vibrations from this essentially makes it to where the vision of the entities are not able to see it, even if it's there. Even if they're walking by it, think of like the Flash rules. They're literally walking through it because of how everything is vibrating. You are now able to do that down to a certain level just for yourself. Because of this, I'm going to decrease all rolls now another difficulty. So you'll get a -3 for all rolls now. What would you like to do next?
What else is around me?
Because you don't have to roll, this was automatically goes down from a difficulty 3 to a 0, so you don't have to roll. You're able to get a good vantage point. You climb up some of the electrical boxes that are near you, and because you're not in the deepest part of the chasm in the Fondue Village, you're actually more near the top of the chasm, near like the cliffside. So as you climb up, you get right near that edge, and you're able to get on there. And god damn it, we're going full Batman. You take that fucking Batman crouch, and you're staring down. You get a good vantage point, and you see the route you need to go towards engineering to get to that blood cell route, engineering special one. It looks a little rough, but with this new device you have, it's going to be pretty easy to get there. But you just see more marauders going to town on the equipment. It's as if they've been ordered to specifically target the equipment. What would you like to do? Would you like to go towards the blood cell route in the room you gotta go to, or are you interested in the guys targeting the equipment?
Since it seems like it is an intentional attack to my equipment, I'm wondering if this is the war chief's. Is it the war chief?
Yep.
I'm thinking this is the war chief's doing, which means they won't stop until the war chief is dead. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bypass them for now. I'm gonna get to where I need to go, and then after I do that shit, I'm going for the war chief's head.
Mori, that plan is, I gotta give it to you. You know what? As I said, you're able to make it, and your rage is just bubbling up, but you're keeping that volcano just capped. And even your new little friend is just, she knows to be on her best behavior because she knows her new daddy is pissed. You make and just a little side note, Mori, do not worry. I'm always able to edit out any background noise, any unintentional, so you don't have to worry about it. So now you make it to where you need to go for the electrical in the lower visitor center. Because you did what you did, you're able to avoid my trap I was going to set for him. I was going to set for Mori. As you were going in this vessel, through this blood vein, you saw a trap that was set by the marauders, but you just turn your dial up, get right by them. Now, when you get to the lower visitor center, you come through the engineering department, and Carl just comes running up to you and goes, "Oh my, oh, thank whatever entity is out there watching out for us. You were actually able to make it here, Mori. Whoa, I'm not even going to ask what that is on your hip. That's really cool, and you're gonna have to tell us what that does, because I am so curious. But we need you to help repair the mainframe."
Not the first time, won't be the last.
So you follow. So do you follow behind them?
Yep, I'm gonna follow him and figure out what the fuck's wrong with it.
He's taking him, and he tells you. So he takes you to the door, and you see warning. Electrical shock, blah, 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 for any type of electrical grid warnings for anything that you see at a power station. And he says, "We've just been getting red light warnings, everything coming from in there. We have no idea what it is." He hands you a pair of rubber boots. "Take these just in case. If anything happens, they will make sure you're grounded."
Oh, my boots are already... I got that shit every day.
"Oh, never mind. You already beat me. So, you know what? Cool. Do you go into the room?"
I'm gonna crack the door and see what's going on inside before deciding to just pop on in.
You sneaky devil. So, Mori, you poke your head in. Because of all your pluses, this would have been a difficulty 3 roll just to try to sneak your head in, but you have you get those -3s on there, so you don't have to roll for it. You successfully poke your head in, and you see, literally in the middle of the room, all of the power being... all of the electricity, everything, it's a massive arc being sucked in to this marauder. It's not that he's tall, he's very wide. The best way to describe him is, look, he looks like Super Kami Guru. He just looks like the really fat Namek, the really big Namek, and he's just sucking in the power. And you... because you did that prior search and you saw the marauders destroying the equipment and you figured for the war chief, you definitely pieced together this is a higher ranking soldier, and this is why the mainframe is down. He is just devouring all the power.
Am I able to communicate with my little fish necklace?
Would you like to do it telepathically or verbally?
Oh, telepathically.
What would you like to say?
Does it know, like, what this thing is trying to do? Like, why is it siphoning the power?
Mama, Bad Man was told by Big Bad Man that when he sucks all of the electricity, it will disable all of the main equipment, and it will allow the soldiers to go and hit it without being electrocuted. This is why they're able to hit your equipment without, being shocked. So this is part one of the plan, was to basically drop the power down. But this also, not only were they able to do the whole thing with your supersonic shielding, but this also disables the main elevator. meaning reinforcements will not be able to get down. Even if you fix that shielding, that means nothing if the elevator can't. And this is something that you can't just repair it. And because of the massive amount of power this requires, that elevator ain't coming back up. So, and without reinforcements coming, the war chief can just lay waste to the park and take over this territory. Yes.
Is the war chief already in the park, or is he still outside of the park?
I'm going to give you a freebie because you're 17. He was actually on the cliffside. He was about a good mile away from you.
Okay.
But because of your shielding, he could not see you, and neither could any of his men see you, so you were safe.
Okay.
But you did see him. He is actually just surveying as of right now. And you did decipher one last thing from your 17. He was doing hand motions, which it's not hard to decipher. He was giving out signals for troops. So that also lets you know they can see in the dark. They have the same kind of like eye mutation as you. Is there anything else you would like to ask?
Is the Barracuda able to tell if this power-sucking nightmare has a weakness?
Oh. So because with your -3, this is going to drop from a difficulty 4 down to a 1. Give me a difficulty 1 intelligence roll.
I rolled a 9.
You got it. So guess what? She actually connects you with his weapon, and you ask about weaknesses, and the little guy tells you, well, his massive girth and blubber makes cutting through him difficult. Granted, even using us, it's not going to be like a one-shot kill. You're going to have to cut at him for a while. But if you can get a good aim at his neck and get that head off, yeah, then definitely, because he doesn't have that much fat through his neck and it'll be easier to cut through it. And I can also tell you, one of the other things to do is to play against his ego and cockiness, because he is a general for the war chief. He is one of the 5 generals. So he has a really big ego, even though he is the weakest and lowest ranked general. If it wasn't for his energy sapping ability, he wouldn't be worth shit.
So, say someone was to cut a hole in him, like his neck, and shove a grenade inside. What would happen? Just out of curiosity.
Oh! If you can actually do that and you were to somehow lead him to get him to head back to his troops, he does have a ample supply of methane inside of him, and any explosion would be amplified. So you could potentially take out quite a few of them if you're able to convince them to do a change of venue. I like where you're thinking. You're a sneaky one.
Fast is he?
Now, looks can be deceiving. He is pretty light on his feet, but it's not that he's running fast. He is able to leap. So the spring power in his legs is able to launch him quick. And what he does is he will find himself to another surface, albeit like a ceiling, a wall, and he'll instantly position himself to land on his feet, catch himself and and using the spring mechanisms in his legs, keep himself with increasing his velocity. So if you're able to interrupt that, you would be able to cut his speed down as well. Anything else I can do for that? Because you're really nice, and you didn't try to overload my mind and threaten me like how these people do. I like you.
You want to join me?
If you're able to beat this guy in the end, yeah, I'll happily go. I see you have my sister.
I'm always up for more for my collection.
Yeah, if you're able to beat him, yeah, I'll happily join you.
I'll see what I can do. Thank you.
Nah, it's nice to actually talk to someone that wants to talk to me. I've just always been abused and tortured. Most people think that just because we're weapons, we don't have feelings, but we actually do. Mori, what would you like to do next?
I have an idea of what I want to do, but I don't know if it's going to work, because that depends entirely on reducing this guy's speed capacity, and by using a NPC as a sacrifice.
You already have me very intrigued. So, Mori, most of my veteran players, they will tell you one of the biggest things I love to hear and I really reward is creative thinking. You may be thinking something is crazy, but that's what I love to hear is these crazy plans. Now, please tell me, what were you thinking? Because you really have mentioned.
All right, so what I'm thinking is because I have an ungodly amount of grenades on me at any given moment. Spoiler alert, I always have grenades of all kinds. I make them myself, some are big, some are small, but I have a pocket full of tiny incendiary grenades. They're about the size of one's palm, but they pack a punch. But they're meant for specific scenarios, but they would also perfectly fit inside an open wound. Especially on a fat ass like that. So if I can cut a hole in him, again, the neck is the weak point, cut a hole in the back of his neck when he's not looking, slide one of these grenades in there, they're remotely detonated, and slide a grenade in there, and obviously he's going to know if he's been wounded. I'm going to be shielded, but the NPC in the doorway is not. And that sucker's going to have to fucking book it. I'm going to tell the NPC, go, just run. Find a group of them and run. You're dead. There's nothing you can do. Fucking go.
Okay. Now, you said you wanted to use an NPC. How would you like to do this?
Basically, I'm gonna set him up. His only choice is gonna be to run.
Okay. Normally, this would have been like a difficulty 5 intellect roll, but once again, you have that +3 bonus. So, this is only going to be a difficulty 2 intellect roll, so you just have to beat a 6. So go ahead, roll that for me.
That's another 17. Okay, I fucking love this dice.
You crit. So this is going to go off exactly the way you want. So, Mori, paint it for us.
I'm shielded. He can't see me. And of course, I've always got my boots on, so I don't have to worry about the electricity and all that shit. I'm used to this sort of stuff. I wade through electricity on the regular basis. I'm always like fucking elbow deep in this stuff. So I just walk right on in, and in a moment, I use my new friend. I'm gonna stab a nice slice out of the back of his neck, downwards, so I can slip in a grenade or two. Again, remotely detonated. I don't have to worry about that yet.
With the 17, you're able to get 2 grenades as his hand finally covers the cut, and he's just, no, what the hell? Ah! And the arc of energy stops going down his gullet, and it actually goes in between the 2 coils. So allow me to describe the power room for you, Mori. The best way, so instead of like your generic like generators that you would see like the massive turbines in, what's actually powering this is basically a variation of like 2 gargantuan Tesla coil. And there was a massive plasma energy arc in between them that just shocks out the energy to him. And with this, everything starts going up, and he looks up panicked like, oh no, oh god, the boss was gonna kill me. What would you like to do next, Mori?
I mean, the NPC is gonna be standing in that doorway. That's gonna be the first person he sees.
He's looking around in intense anger, and as I said, just he can't literally see you. Just literally your particles, everything is vibrated to where he can't see you. And then he turns to the doorway, he sees, and you know what? For this NPC, we're going to say this is Eric. Eric just looks and he goes, wait, god damn it, Mori, you fucking set me up, man! What the And the big dude just, and before your advance, because where you are, right behind him, you see the way his legs work. His body, you see him suck in, and his massive gut, everything just pulls in, and his rib cage, everything shows. But then you see, because of that, his torso starts squashing down. His legs literally look like compressing springs. And as he lets out a breath, boom, he shoots at the NPC. But you see, Steven is not just any ordinary NPC. Steven is the biggest coward in the Mystery Flesh Pit, and he just goes, oh, fate don't fail me now. And he takes off fucking running, and the general is just fucking bouncing off every wall. Craters are forming with how his legs are just hitting and springing himself forward. Do you follow?
Oh, yeah. Because I'm good, but my grenades still have a distance. Like, I can't set them off unless I am within a certain range.
And unfortunately, poor Steven, granted, he is a master at running the fuck away, but he has just the worst sense of direction. You're following him, and you know the direction he's headed is actually taking him right towards a good portion of the war chief's personal warband. Your smile just increases, Mori, and you're let out into the open area, and specifically where you are, you're by the lower visitor center, but now specifically you're actually by where they're setting up to build a golf course in the near the middle of the central musculature. They've literally just been carving out massive swaths, massive chunks of the flesh and everything else that's just in the midst of the way. And unlike the Fondue Village, that was a massive, literally man-made canyon chasm, they haven't dug inwards to make a chasm. They've left the ground flat. They've just carved out the other portions of the area to just made a very wide open field. Like literally this area is like the size of 10 football fields. And you see about a good 5,000 soldiers of the marauders, and these are the personal war band of the war chief. And the NPC, he's running, but because of all the tears in his eyes, he doesn't see it until he literally runs into the lieutenant, the leader of the 5,000 command, and he just looks down at him. The general comes out of there. The lieutenant looks at the general, looks down at Steven. All the men pull out their weapons, just looking at Steven. Steven's just shaking, just pissing himself in fear and just, why did you do this? And what would you like to do, Mori?
Now, is this fat ass in the middle of all this? Because I'm thinking maybe it's grenade time.
You already said, I'm getting the gist that you are being patient and you haven't set it off yet. That's all I needed to know. And you're waiting and you see the general just, yes, you thought you were so good, cutting my neck. I have no idea how you were able to even wound me perfectly. And he's just loving the sound of his own fucking voice. He's just getting off on it. All the soldiers are rolling their eyes. They're just like, God damn it. Why did Chief have to promote him? And he walks in front of Steven, and literally as he gets in front of him, he lets out a massive fart that blows Steven back a good 20 feet. Steven's hair is now permanently blown back. He looks like fucking Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, but he will never have this smell off of him now. And the general's walking, and now he's about a good third of the way through the 5,000 troops as he's just running his mouth, talking about all of the master plan and bullshit. Do you trigger the explosion?
Absolutely.
Okay, so for this, I want you to roll your d20, but I want you to roll with advantage. So roll twice and tell me the higher number, please.
My higher number is 18.
Okay.
The other was 15.
Okay, you crit again. Now hold on. I gotta do some math real quick. Okay, Mori, give me a... once again, I gotta account for your speed roll and everything. Just give me a difficulty 1 speed roll, as you know that the explosion you just gave off is literally going to fill the entirety of this fucking room.
I got
You've unleashed... How does this look? And here's the thing, Steven has the senses of any very timid animal like a meerkat. So his sense of danger gave off, and somehow this little shit is already gone. How does this look as the explosion goes off and literally the force is right behind you as you take off?
Well, apparently combining 2 of the grenades was not a great idea. That was a little stronger than anticipated. Not only did this fat fuck turn into red mist, everything turned into a red mist. Because all that fucking gas inside of him and outside of him.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. I don't know if I've also kind of been singed on my way scuttling away, but there's nothing left there. It's just mist.
You know what? Mori, you do get singed. Like, literally the back half, like the left half of your back is now going to have a permanent burn scar now. It's just a red scar that takes up a good 75% of the left side of your back. But I ain't gonna lie, it's not like the weird bulbous, like swollen third degree burn scars. No, this actually looks more like anime-ish, so it's more just like a red flaming, kind of looks like a red demonish hand gripping your back now. Because this was literally the flames of, you literally unleashed the power of the sun in this little pocket. And literally, and just for the listeners, just to tell you right now, what this equates to for the PBBSO is literally just like a little fart. Outside, like literally the planet Earth just does like the entirety of the planet has a 7.5 earthquake. There's a tsunamis, places that are suffering damage. But on the inside, under the crust, you just hear a and the PBSO just goes back to sleep. And Mori, and not only did you got blasted, but this is when I want to really just paint in about your mysteriousness. Somehow you pull from your gadgets, you pull out like one of those the thing that Batman had in Dark Knight, that when he shot it, it caught a plane. You shot the fucking thing and it catches on to like a organ and you literally just yeet yourself spinning. How you're not suffering unconsciousness from the 16 G's your body's going through, we have no fucking actual idea, but it's amazing. And boom! You crash perfectly into just a ball of basically the best way to describe it is just a ball of fat, but you don't take any damage. It just feels like nice and cushioned, and you're that close to the chasm of the fondue villain. And from where you are, you're actually about a good 100 feet from the war chief, and he's gotten signals about what has just happened, and you hear him let out a scream and then say, "We're heading to the gastric sea." What do you do, Mori?
Where's the gastric sea?
Okay, allow me to help describe you now. So, the greater gastric sea, you're actually going to be heading back towards the central musculature. Because I do apologize, I should have said the lesser gastric sea. This isn't the main, basically just think of this like a stomach acid oceans. This one's about the size of the Indian Ocean. The greater gastric sea is literally the size of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans combined. You see these guys literally are getting on top of massive abyssal copepods. These things are literally the best way to describe them is they are about the size of a Boeing 751. And it's not that they're running, they're literally hopping like grasshoppers and they're taking off with great speed. And if you're wanting to hitch a ride, it'll be counting your bonuses, difficulty 2 speed roll. You'll have to beat a 6.
Hey, that should be easy enough. I've been having good luck with my rolls. And that is a 5.
Okay. Because the way the cipher system works, failure doesn't mean automatically that things don't happen. You're able to hitch a ride, but now the soldiers on this abyssal copepod are alerted. Granted, they can't see you, but now when you get to where you're going to go, things are going to be a little interesting. But this is actually where we're going to leave off with Mori, and I would actually first like to go to Moonlight. And great job, Mori. Dear God, you got through that. Your rolls were dynamite.
So glad I used my lucky dice.
Moonlight.
Yes.
After everything that happened, we don't need to dive into it. We remember, but you got rid of the harem mother, and you didn't personally go and clear out all the eunuchs. You got through a good 3 of them, and then they just started dispersing, and you lost sight of Riley and the guard that he was hiding in. You lost sight of him, but you were able to make it to the cage, and you see the prisoners, the women and the children. Now, I'm not... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, Moonlight, is absolutely coughing up blood. Because in that wrestling match, when that big ass motherfucker punched her in the ribs, a bit of rib punctured her lungs. And with all the fighting, not in the best of shape.
Now, yes, you are in very rough shape, Moonlight, and I'm not going to make you roll intelligence for this. You know right now, these women and children, the safest place for them is inside this cage. Do you relay that to, like, the adults?
Yeah, of course I do. I can't have people panicking. I can't just have them in a cage and leave and not tell them. So I'm gonna look at the adults. I said, listen, as you saw, I am here to save you. I don't know what happened to my friend, but he's also here to save you as well. And I won't speak for my friend Bethany, but the safest I can do is keep you here because that's the only way to protect you to the fullest at this moment.
Yes, Miss Moonlight, we trust you. We know you would never steer us wrong, and if you tell us the safest place is here, we're going to stay here. We're going to do our best to get the children calmed down. They've been through a lot, Miss Moonlight.
I can only imagine.
And your friend, I do believe you said Bethany, she's looking a little rough, and her foot looks like it's about to fall off. She hands you a first aid kit.
Oh, I'm gonna take it.
And Moonlight, as you're being handed the first aid kit, Bethany, this is the first time you're finally able to see your ankle. The sheer adrenaline you've been going off of, your heartbeat, everything's slowing down. Dopamine's not as much intense now. And literally, your tears just start streaming down your eyes as you're going to collapse on the ground, and you look at your foot. Literally 60% of your ankle and Achilles tendon has been bitten off. That dog literally ripped out a chunk of your foot, of your ankle and Achilles tendon.
He falls on the ground.
You just fall. You fall on your feet, and you fall on your face. Even that just doesn't override the pain in your foot. Bethany, give me a difficulty 4 intellect roll to try to just push through the pain. So you got to beat a 12. Unless you would like to use some effort and use 3 intellect points to drop it down to a 9.
Just a second. I lost my dice. It was just here. Oh, damn demons in the hills. Could someone roll for me until I can find this thing?
Who would you like to have roll for you?
I would have the all-powerful Morty do it for me.
Alrighty.
It's a 17.
Yay! See, I knew I was right.
You chose right. Bethany, can you please tell us right now how you're able to push through it?
Okay, I'm gonna see if this makes sense. Bethany lays there and thinks about all the times that she has pushed through all types of nonsense. She has literally been stabbed, almost set on fire, just the craziest things. And this is because she was completely high off of her mind. And with that memory, it's like she remembers the feeling of being high. For the most part, it numbs the pain. And also, she screams out,
I'm actually going to reward you for the 17 because you crit. You're not going to scream because you know that would actually be the worst thing to do. You bite down, you grit. Literally, you can feel your teeth grinding, crack to your molars, crack on your bottom row. Sweat.
For the love of God, somebody give me some drugs. Give me drugs.
And
Hey guys, I go over to Bethany, I pick her up, and I just throw her over my shoulder. We're going to the medical pool.
I don't. She's like beating on Moonlight's back. Like, I don't want medicine. I want drugs. Give me drugs.
When we get back, I got some good green. I got that from Riley.
I said drugs.
You will take what I give you. Or you gonna walk your ass to the medical pool and start walking.
Okay.
And because the 17, I am actually going to reward you that Moonlight actually was able to give you some morphine and get your foot bandaged. And actually, Moonlight, can you describe for us what do you do to help like stabilize the foot?
Because all the eunuchs dropped their weapons, it was after the first guy I killed. The other two are just kind of frozen. I take a couple of the weapons, I dull it down so it can't be used, or cut up Bethany's leg. I rip off a piece of my dress, and I create a makeshift splint. Tie it real tight.
Bethany high off morphine, like, yes, baby, take it off.
Well, maybe later.
Actually, because of what you're describing, because it's not just some simple bandage, because you're building a splint and everything, you're also able to help make her a makeshift crutch. And Bethany, you're able to walk yourself. Granted, you're high as shit. This was very, very powerful morphine medicine. So, and as you're going, Moonlight, you were expecting maybe to run into some opposition by now. Everything seems oddly quiet until you're taking your steps and you're heading back towards the direction of the medical. And when you take the steps into this large area, it's about the size of about like 2 high school gyms. And the minute you and Bethany's feet go on there, Bethany, give me a difficulty 2 might roll as the floor just starts violently shaking.
Oh, damn it. You don't have to tell my dice. I had a whole set of these things, and all of them are gone. Just a second.
Well, while we're waiting for Bethany's fate, Moonlight, you hear intense whooshing, slamming, crashing, and what sounds like liquid spilling and splashing. As you're looking, you see its blood splatter, large pools. And Bethany, what was your roll?
5.
Oh, yeah, you don't fall on your face. You just slip on your crutch and you put weight on your foot, and god damn it, does it hurt and it just starts to bleed a little, just a bit. Blood starts seeping through, and this will count now towards the difficulty roll that Moonlight's about to go through. As Moonlight, you have a sense that, oh fuck, I gotta get us out of the way. Give me a difficulty 4 speed roll. You have to beat a 12.
Oh, damn it. I got a 19.
Oh, okay. So, as what looks like 2 bodies about to appear where you and Bethany are standing, go ahead and describe how you get you 2 out of the way.
I grab Bethany by her not fucked up ankle, and I fucking throw her. I'm sorry, I keep throwing you. And I jump out of the way. I use as much strength as I can to jump out, run and jump out of the way. And I do a barrel roll, tuck and roll type of thing.
Because you got a 19, how many feet are you about to yeet Bethany?
Oh god.
It's at least 30 feet. She got chucked.
And how many feet are you going to leap?
I'm gonna hopefully do the same.
So, fortuitously, you're not going to jump to the same spot Bethany did. Actually,
No, I jumped to the opposite side.
That's actually the perfect place you need to go. So, you go 30 feet in the opposite direction, and where you guys were, all of a sudden appears Riley, and then you see an individual that's about a good 10.5 feet tall. You can't see Riley's arms or his arms. All you just see, there's just intense movement around them, and you see blood spraying from either direction from both of them. What do you want to do, Bethany? And what do you want to do, Moonlight?
You said Riley has no arms?
That's how fast his arms are moving.
Okay. Can Riley see me at all, or is he purely focused on his opponent?
He is purely focused on his opponent.
And in that case, my weapon that eats people, I grab it and I scream, Riley! And I chuck it. I throw it as hard as I can towards his opponent.
Give me because of how bad your ribs are, give me a difficulty 4. Might roll, please.
Hang on, I need my character sheet.
if you would like to use some effort, that'll be 3 points from your might
Yes.
pool. You can lower it down to a 3, so that'll be a 9.
I'll take that.
All right, go ahead and roll.
I got a 13.
You know what? I would like you to describe the throw and up to the moment for when Riley will turn around and look at you. But describe all of that moment for us. Because with this, you also cause the individual that he's fighting to become distracted. But because in that moment, Riley became distracted as well, you see a hand in the knife fist goes right through Riley's left shoulder, piercing all the way through to his back, and then he pulls it out. But just take over for me, Moonlight.
When Riley, everything is now slowed down for Moonlight. She is in pure survival mode. She forces herself up and she grabs her sword, her sentient sword. She tells him to feed just one more time. And when she stands up, she puts her arm back almost like a javelin thrower, and she angles it. She judges the weight, how it's carved. She takes all of this into account, and she calculates how hard she needs to throw, exactly what angle she takes in the wind velocity. Thank God, right? There's a lot. And she throws it at the very center, at one of the chests, or at the center of the chest of Riley's opponent.
And as the blade is going, as I said, Riley stops hearing that. His head just turns, and then poof, the arm pierces through his shoulder. Thankfully, it only pierces through the top region, literally near his collarbone, but it is basically going to make his left arm unusable now, because it's about a good bowling ball size hole that goes all the way through him. But as the blade goes, he catches it with his right hand. The blade, it gets a smile that this individual that you can only guess is a general, he just gets fear in his eyes as Riley does a upward slash that splits him in half. And then when he swings his arm back down to swing the sword down again, the blade, the mouth portion actually expands, and it literally becomes like the top half of a head, and it just swallows him. The blade burps, and the blade starts to turn a deep burgundy red with a blood pattern. Like, I can never remember what that specific terminology is for the way the curve is that they actually forge it, but that's how the blood splatter red looks for it. And Riley looks over at you, Moonlight, and goes, "Oh, thanks, Moonlight. I was having a little trouble there." And he looks at his shoulder and goes, "Ow," and falls flat on his face.
Oh, God damn it, Riley. I hobble, quickly get up and try to get to Riley.
You're hobbling over to him, and as you're looking at Riley's back all over his body, he just has gashes and chunks that have just been ripped out of him, cut through him, gashed through him. Do you turn him over, pick him up? What would you like to do, Moonlight? You still have the first aid kit as well, but your sword lets out a burp, and he spits out like a gourd. And this gourd is made from the material of the PBSO. It's a milk. So at the same time, it has a milkish color, but it's also black. You know, this is comes from the black pearl. It's a very rare material. You see the cork on it. What would you like to do?
Real fast, I want to take the first aid kit, and I'm going to smash it across Riley's head.
Does Bethany still see this? Because
Yes.
she's gonna kind of like shout at Moonlight, like, why did you give it to me?
Because Riley's the one who almost jeopardized me and got me in this goddamn position! I smack him in the head again. If you fucking die on me after almost getting me killed, everything between us is dead!
Wait a minute, this is part of your job application, your job description. I'm in marketing. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here.
Me and Riley's job is to protect our co-workers and to keep invasions from happening and to make sure this goddamn starfish thing that we live in stays alive and safe. Not to sabotage our co-workers! Smack him again.
Oh, I'm starting to like it.
God damn you. Just giant sweat job. Okay, I stopped patch Riley up. It's like, god damn it. It's like, everyone knows you're fucking crazy, but you really upped it this time.
God damn it.
After I'm done with Riley, I throw Bethany the first aid kit, and then I pick Riley up and I throw him on my goddamn shoulder.
Moonlight,
Thank you.
when I ran, I heard the unit saying they were gonna like call the general, and I just wanted to buy you some time. I wasn't planning to fight him, but he said he was gonna do.
It's alright, it's alright.
I lost my gasket. There was no way in hell. And Riley passes out from just sheer pain.
You know what? If we all live through this, Riley, you and me are gonna have a serious conversation and talk about what this is between us. So,
I know what it is.
at least someone does, because I'm confused as fuck.
So, Moonlight, quick question. You still have that black gourd. You do hear sloshing, but it doesn't just sound like, your typical water sloshing. It sounds kind of thick.
Can my sword talk to me?
Yes, how would you like to talk to him? Verbally or telepathically?
I'll just say it out loud so Bethy can absolutely join in the conversation. So what is this?
All the high-ranking officers, they were given some of the liquid from the pools.
What the fuck? Am I high? I know I'm high, but what the fuck is it talking?
Yeah, sometimes you're gonna see some shit if you ever do a mission with us. But please, go on.
I'm saying shit now.
So,
Hang on, just, you know what? You're gonna see even more shit if you ever have to do an expedition mission with us.
No, I hope I get back stuck on office duty again.
Oh, but you're gonna miss all the parties.
Good. Fuck your parties. It's guys.
I mean, we have had those too on occasion.
Look at my leg. I used to be a 10.
You're still a 10. You're a 10 minus a leg.
So, deep in the gastric sea, there's a little pocket of a certain pool, because normally in the gastric sea it's the gastric acid. But so I'll let you in on a little secret about this pool. It comes from the saliva drippings of the gastric whale. You see, don't you wonder why, granted, they can protect themselves from certain kinds of wounds and stuff unless it comes from one of us. But what do you think happens if they lose a wound? They're able to close it up and everything, but they're not gonna be able to grow it back normally. They can't regrow limbs, they can just close wounds and shit. What if there was a way to regrow them?
Yeah, so you can regrow my leg.
Okay, so what do I need and where do I need to go? Because I'm running on fumes.
Oh, well, here's the thing. You already got the first part of the equation. You have the pool right there in your hand, But I will tell you one thing. It's gonna hurt like a bitch, depending on how bad the wound.
You know what? I'm not even gonna tell you what I've survived and been through, so this is really no different. What, I just pull this shit on me? Oh, Riley and Bethany?
Well, take a drink. You don't gotta drink at all, just because you're not as big as them and your body system, you're not gonna
Okay, first of all, I work really hard on my figure, so fuck you.
Hey, I mean, nice ass. I will say that. But look, what I mean is you're not freaking 12 feet tall, little lady. So you're not going to need to drink the whole thing. And especially because of how hard it is to find that pool, procuring it, that's why only the generals each have one gourd. You're not going to find that on anybody else. So yeah, just take a swig and steel yourself for the kickback.
Alright, so I lift up the gog. Well, here's mud in your eye. uncork it, I put some in my mouth, I turn Riley over, and then I force the fluid down his throat. I take another swig, cork it up, and then I toss the rest to Bethany.
Bethany, do you drink it?
Hell yes, without question. She catches. In fact, as she tosses it, she catches it in her mouth with it.
Are you sure we didn't go to the same orgies?
I was face down, so probably.
God damn it. Moonlight, you first. For you, because of your wound, you're only going to need to do a difficulty 2 might roll. You just have to beat a 6. And Bethany, for you, you are going to have difficulty 4 might roll, so you got to beat a 12. And I'm sorry, there is no expanding effort. You cannot lower this.
No, you said I need to be a 2.
A 6.
19.
Oh, thank God. I just got a 6. I have a 6.
I have a 19.
Both of you, like, all your veins in your body start to protrude, and your bodies just violently start to shake. As for you, Moonlight, you feel this substance immediately work its way to your ribs, and it starts to knit, fusing together with new bone matter, and you can feel it growing, and dear God, is it fucking intense. And it hurts. You puke up a little blood, and then you stand up. And then for Bethany, you curl up in a ball. You feel like you're about to go through the same thing as Moonlight, and you let out a massive fart, and you're good.
Why a fart? I was gonna say, why don't you just let out an orgasm noise? Like,
Why not both?
It's both.
yeah.
It's a fartgasm. You're just like, bacon.
I hate those together.
Where the fuck are you?
So then you look down at your foot, Bethany, and everything is healed. But here's the thing is that your new part of your foot, it's not the same skin tone. It's literally just super pale white.
Oh God. I got that Michael Jackson edition now.
Pretty much. And you see Riley, Moonlight, from how high he violently jerks upward. He goes up about a good 5 feet in the air, and you just see a fountain of blood spray from his mouth. And you see Riley's body just start to shrivel up, and as if all the liquid in his body expels. And then he blows up about the size of like a sumo wrestler. And then the same thing that happened with Bethany, he does the fartgasm. And then he just is beats Moonlight.
God damn it, Riley. You're okay. I give him a big hug.
This is weird because I was dying and I was gonna tell you goodbye. What?
I pull him back and I give him the most rage-filled glare. If you die, I will bring you back to kill you myself.
He just looks at you in the face and goes, and that's why I love you so much. Moonlight, will you be my girlfriend?
Her? We had our first fartgasm together. Why her?
Riley just looks at you with that face of just like, especially because I've been reading Demon Slayer, he gives you that look that Tanjiro gives fucking Zenitsu, just pity and disgust of just, nah man, not you. Never you.
Ouch. My pride.
Oh my God, you're serious? So for the past year, you've been telling everyone that I was your girlfriend and spreading all those fucking rumors about us being a couple. You were serious?
Moonlight, don't you remember? And this is literally when like a flashback montage goes through of like Riley asking, hey Moonlight, you want to be my girlfriend? And like giving her a present, and then Moonlight being like, yeah, I'll be your friend. That's a girl.
Yeah.
And Riley just going, wait, what? And yes, Silas, that's exactly the fucking look that fucking Riley gave Bethany.
So Moonlight's thinking, and she was remembering all the flowers, the chocolates, the trinkets, the snuggling, and it's like, wow, I thought you were just being super nice. I thought you were spreading those rumors to keep those jackasses away from me. But you know what? Yes. But Actually, no, I can't say yes yet. I'm sorry, Riley, I can't say yes yet. I gotta talk to you about something serious before we go any further.
Friend zone. Damn, friend zone.
Well, not really. It's just Riley and I have some history that he isn't aware of, and before I promise to be in a relationship, I need to be honest with him about everything. So she looks at Riley. Riley, I want to talk to you in all seriousness once things calm down, and I really need to talk to you about things. The real things. Because I do love you. I do like you.
Riley smiles and goes, "You know what? That's actually more than enough for right now. I'm more than happy with that, and I can, once we are able to get everything to normal, we can have that talk, Moonlight." And before Riley can continue, he just hears like a little, it literally sounds like the communicator from Power Rangers, just a boop, 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 boop. He pulls out a communicator. "Riley, we can finally communicate." "Oh, Master."
Granddad!
"Ah, Moonlight. Excellent, you two are together. I can inform you. We are receiving reports that the last main warband led by the war chief is heading towards the Gastric Sea, where you currently are, Moonlight. You two could presently cut him off if you head towards him now."
Okay, got it. I quickly stand up and I crack my knuckles.
And the PIB, the rest of the main force, shall be joining the fight here very soon. You have all done so well, lasting till now.
It's only because of your training that keeps me alive, Granddad.
Good luck to you both.
Be safe.
And Riley closed the communicator, and he looks over at you, Bethany, and goes, "So, I don't know if you heard all that, but, well, me and Moonlight are going to be heading to take care of the war chief, and hopefully with him taken care of, the rest of these marauders will be off, and maybe they won't try to attack us anymore, because, I really don't want to try to wipe out a group of people. I want to give them a chance to, to willingly give up."
Yeah. I didn't hear any of that, but do what you want, and, I guess I'll be over here I have to do some major PR damage here.
Riley now gets that same fucking look again.
Anyway, you've been friend zoned, so have fun.
Oh, Bethany, can you please inform the other Rangers or people in black about the women and children in the cage?
There's women and children in cages?
Bethany, you were right in front of him.
She's also high as fuck.
Yes, exactly.
You know what, Bethany? I will give you the best shit I've ever had in my life if you tell any engineer or park ranger or person in black about those women in cages around the pool right here.
Okay, gotcha. Women and children in cages, people in black people in cages. Tell
God damn it. Okay, so this is actually really perfect because of the message I just read in our Discord, dear viewers and listeners. Because the player for Yoretzi was actually mentioned a really funny message about Yoretzi. Because I was actually just about to say that as Bethany, Riley, and Moonlight. Moonlight and Riley head in one direction. Bethany heads in the opposite towards the main gargantuan elevator as it's started its descent, carrying all the PIB. And if we look inside that elevator, we literally see no bodies because there's just a bright light and flashing and glittering and literally just outlines of bodies making very exaggerated poses and just a hey, and you just hear a wamu. And this is when we cut to, before we go to Yoretzi, Sticky Joe, as you kick this bomb, your foot actually, because of your stickiness, stayed stuck to it. And as it was rolling, you're stuck to the side of it. Glomp lets out a massive belch, and he just becomes like a deflated balloon and sticks to you. And then when that bomb went off, you went fucking flying. And then that's when we cut to Yoretzi, who's making that valiant stand against this female general, as fucking Sticky Joe comes crashing through the roof and literally just does a Goku headbutt against the fucking general, sending her flying back a good 20 feet. And Joe, you collapse you fall next to Yuretsi. And the general is just shaking her head, just holding it. And then she looks, her eyes just filled blood red, staring at you, Joe, now as she's spinning her spear, getting ready to launch herself at you. I'm going to start with Yuretsi. What would you like to do? And what are you doing?
Well, last we left off, she knocked that spear down and was sitting on it, so I assume she's not there anymore.
Oh no, not because of that, because literally where we were in that moment, spear down, giving her a death glare. But then all of a sudden, Joe comes flying through the fucking roof, and he collides into the side of her temple, sending her flying back a good 20 feet. And now Sticky Joe is next to you, so is Clump. Clump just looks at you and just goes, and that's Clump 4. Hey, how's it going? And now the general, she has her spear because she held on to it and it got pulled from underneath your foot.
So she's just raging. She's like, I'm gonna tear you to pieces!
The general says, I welcome it. Come on, little girl. I've been itching for a new play companion. Hopefully you're able to stimulate me enough that I'll actually maybe remember your name. But if not, you'll just be another dust among my memory. So, Yuretsi, go ahead and what would you think would be how you're primarily? Is this a more of a strength-based attack charge or speed-based attack charge? Or, if you're able to sell it to me enough, intellect-based?
I would like to do intellect based, figuring like since she's already fought a general, she might understand like their anatomy a little more. She wants to go for hit weak spots.
And here's the thing, it's not that you have X-ray vision or anything, it's actually your danger sense that's giving this off. It's not that you're seeing her hearts or anything, it's literally your sense is giving you the most dangerous but important spots on her body. You see it's 3 spots that keep shifting, moving all around her body. Like literally there's a point to where her heart is in her fucking fist. It shifts down her arm. And give me a difficulty 4 intellect roll for you to see if you can get this timing down for your attack.
I got a 17.
God damn! Okay, paint this scene real quick as you're able to take out one heart as you charge at her and she holds her spear in a overhead motion and then goes for a diving strike with that. And to anyone else, it looks like she's grown 20 arms and then there's just a wall of strikes coming down at you. How does this look?
She would like to, my idea is like kind of hit the other end of the spear that she's thrusting down and like just wrenching it to take, you said it was in her hand?
Yes.
Yeah, she wants to remove the heart that way.
Okay, and your bonus for that crit is this. You're taking out a heart, yes, but here's your choice of what you can get as an addition for that crit. Do you want to control the situation, put the enemy in the position you want them to be, or do you want to have Sticky Joe let him have advantage on his next roll?
I would give him advantage, mostly because she's starting to get a little tired and she's lost like quite a bit of blood.
And okay, yeah, so how this looks is like you dive, you literally fucking smack as you're diving underneath her spear strikes, you kick at her knee. Literally, you just hear a crack and a crunch. And as her skin is working to just, it's not that it's that it's healing the bone or anything. It's literally just working to wrap it and act as basically as a skin brace holding the bones together so she can still walk and kick and everything. And you get behind her and literally where her kidneys would be, you reach in and you pull out a heart, crushing it in your hand. And with your last bit of strength, as blood just pours from your mouth, you drop kick her in the spine. And Sticky Joe, you see this massive female marauder coming at you. What are you going to do as you're laying on the ground and your head is fucking killing you?
Other woman chasing after Sticky Joe. I tried to keep my love life low maintenance, but somehow it just keeps getting stickier. So I'm gonna smash my fist on the ground to like force myself onto my feet. Okay. Is there can you describe the terrain for me that the female warrior's running on?
Okay, you're actually back in the middle of the Fight Club arena. So you're on a basically just the way they've made this arena is they just filled it with sand, and there's in the bits in this sand is a mixture of just teeth and nails, even like fragments of bone are in this sand. But also within your reach, there is a interesting looking weapon.
Please go on.
Does Sticky Joe reach for this weapon?
Yes.
Okay, so quick, give me a difficulty, and because you have advantage for this, I'm also going to knock down a difficulty rating for this. It's going to be a 6 speed roll, so go ahead, roll twice, give me the higher number.
And that one was a 9.
You're able to tuck and roll out of the way of this massive female behemoth goes for the edge of the wooden ring for this arena, and she smashes through it, and she's just groaning, holding her back where the wound that Yuretsi just did. And you pull, and at first you think this is like a sword handle, and as you pull it out, this is in all actuality, it's a purple guitar. But this guitar, at the same time, you can tell, like, it has golden carapace, like insect chitin carapace, right? And the strings actually look like muscle fibers. And yes, the guitar mouth portion where the sound comes from is a mouth. Yes, I just gave you a guitar weapon. I just gave you a guitar. And if you would like to open your mind to it, Sticky Joe can communicate with this.
Absolutely.
Hey man, how's it going, man?
Are we communicating telepathically?
Telepathically.
Sticky Joe gets tired of all these women sometimes. Sometimes he just wants to hang out, drink a beer, eat a live chicken.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean, man, because most of the time I'm just telling people, hey, Dave's not here, man. So, like, I'm a piece of, like, the really big guy that you guys are drilling inside of that, you like, made a amusement park, and you guys are really weird for that, but at the same time, I'm a guitar man. So, if you struck my chords, like, different funky things happen, man. So, like, have fun. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask, buddy.
Can you be Sticky Joe's backup singer?
Oh, you know it, man. Let's get down tonight.
And drop a fucking beat. I have sunglasses out of nowhere. I put someone glump to and on the guitar.
Okay, so Sticky Joe, this weapon is not speed or might, is actually an intellect-based weapon. So for this attack against her, I would like you to roll me a difficulty 4 intellect roll. Now, you can use effort, which will cost you 3 intellect points to drop it down to a 3, which would be a 9. So it's up to you. Go ahead.
I'm gonna do it. So I got a question. Do I take that out of my pool or directly out of the main thing?
Okay, so no. Leave the pool number alone. Take it out of the main, because when you guys are going to rest after this, you can refill all your pool.
Okay, so that's intellect's at a 6. You said drop by 3?
Yes, sir.
Alright, I'll be honest, I'm surprised Sticky Joe's at a 6 anyway. Alright, here we go. And I rolled a 9. Damn, it's 3 9s in a row tonight. Where's my 17, damn it?
Fantastic. Hey, look, so please describe for me, how does this look as you pluck a chord? And if you want to belt out a song, you may.
So, right as Sticky Joe strums the first, does his first, strum. It's hard to think of the word, man. Man, that's weird. Like, I play guitar too, so, suddenly, it's like, the environment just shifts, and it's like you can taste purple. Everything kind of seems purple and chill, and suddenly you hear keyboards playing. The warrioress who is charging towards me just seems slowed down, confused, somehow swayed by the melody. Sticky Joe starts singing. I never meant to hurt you. I only wanted to be a friend. It's true. So basically, Sticky Joe goes on singing Purple Rain. And then Glump is going to help sing in the guitar.
And the guitar actually lets out a different song from you. It actually belts out a purple haze running through my mind. Stop as I melt your eye. And this purple miasmic goo belts out from the guitar, and the female warrior general, she stands up, and as it hits her, literally her arm, two of her arms start to melt, and she's desperately trying to get her skin to catch and knit to hold it together, but just two of the arms melt and fall off, and she dives out of the miasmic mist, and she tries to, with her spear, go for a lunging strike at Sticky Joe, and she only does a glancing strike against you, and it's not even going to take anything from your pulls. You just get a massive gash going from the bottom corner of your right jaw upwards through your nose up to the left corner of your forehead. It's a very massive diagonal gash. Took out a good chunk of the top of your bridge of your nose.
You only gonna make Sticky Joe look cooler.
But also because of how the purple haze virus is affecting her body that was belted out from your badass guitar that you'll have to name. He's your new friend. And Yuretsi, you see from where you are, you see one of the hearts. Their movement is slowed down for you now. So this will take down the difficulty by 1 for you. But what would you like to do next?
Go in through the spine to grab it.
Okay. Did you want this to be a speed-based, might-based, or another intellect-based attack?
I will do speed base to get it quickly before it moves again.
Get caught in the purple rain. Sorry. I couldn't help myself.
I'm glad you said that, Joe, because the attack portion came from the guitar, but your words actually do affect the terrain, and above Yuretsi, a little purple rain starts to fall on her. And Yuretsi, your wounds are starting to knit close.
Oh, perfect. I don't need a limp for this attack. Also, I got a 20.
Well, when you crit roll a d20 when in combat, the crit is literally the highest possible maximum damage. So you're going to rip out both hearts then. So please describe how this is going to look. How do you do this?
I'm diving on her back as she's just starting to fall apart, and with her mate, she's just gonna rip a hole open in her back and just bury her face to start eating them.
Oh my god, and you let out a massive howl as she just drops to her knees and her head just slumps over, and from her shoulder, when you were ripping and tearing, a black pearl, the same type of gourd I described for Moonlight, falls from her. Do you pick it up, Yuretsi?
Sure.
You hear the same type of strange, off-putting sloshing inside. Do you take a drink?
I don't think she's personally in the right headspace to do so she's just gonna leave it on her for now.
All right. And do you go over, and with this, you finish him off, and literally all the rest of the marauders in here are screaming in fear, and they've all gone running out, and Bruno is slowly getting up, and he is just whining, and he just nuzzles your hand, Yuretsi.
Actually, instead of me drinking it, she's gonna roll the thing to him.
So Bruno catches the gourd in his mouth, and he pops it on the ground, literally opens it up with two of his claws, and once again pops it in his teeth and just chugs the entire gourd. Once again, all the veins in Bruno's body just expands. He violently starts to shake on the ground. He vomits blood, but then all of his wounds, everything knits close. And you see Bruno actually starts to get a little bigger. Almost all the flesh on his hand starts to rip away, just revealing skeletal hands attached to the talons. His mouth gets even wider, splitting wider at the flesh, growing the teeth, revealing another row of teeth behind it. His spinal column ejecting spines that are sharp, and he grows maybe another good 5 feet in height, and he lets out a gargantuan howl, and he picks you and Joe up and puts you on his shoulders.
She's no resistance. She's just gonna like snuggle up to his face.
And Sticky Joe, you're being picked up by this big ass thing, by this creature, and you've been put on its shoulder with Yuretsi. And now it's smash. So if you've ever seen gargoyles, like how Goliath and them would climb walls, that's how Bruno is scaling the wall now. He's not doing a leap, he's just climbing up it. And Yuretsi, your radio goes off. Do you answer it?
She'll fumble for it, but yeah, she's like, please keep it short. I am very, very hungry.
Oh, thank the heavens, oh God, we've actually been able to reach at least one park guide. Please tell me you're at least with a ranger as well. This is Park Command.
I'm with Joe.
Oh, this is even better. Like, oh my God. In all honesty, the only other person that would make this even better is if you were Light. Oh my God. Thank you. So, as I was saying, this is Command. We've heard reports that the last remaining biggest part of the war band from the Marauders is being personally led by the war chief towards the Gastric Sea. If you're able to make it there and provide support, we think he's going to try and rouse the gastric whale, and we can't have it coming landside. That would literally be the end of the park.
Fewer words.
Go help them. Now, we give you lots of food.
Copy?
And coffee as well. Some of the best gourmet.
Oh, I said copy.
Oh, you said copy. I thought you said coffee. So, all right, Yuretsi, what do you do next?
Well, she's gonna pat Bruno's head like, you heard a big fella, let's go. Fuck.
He lets out a massive howl that literally shakes the hall and starts climbing even faster, gets to the roof, sniffs the air, looks in the direction towards the greater sea. And you know what I'm about to say, dear listeners? That is where we're going to leave off on this fucking amazing session of the happiest place in Earth. I hate to say it, but I really do think this is one of the best sessions we have had to date. It's some of the best role-playing I've ever seen from everyone, and oh boy, and in the next session we will finally be coming to the conclusion of the Marauders attack when the players all confront the war chief at the Gastric Sea. So until the next one, dear listeners, goodbye.